Awesome. So the best thing you can do whenever you're starting out is make a plan for your month. I would say it's one of the most important things you can do. My background is a teacher, and it makes me think of when I would go into my classroom. I just imagine if I didn't know what I was going to do for that week, even, it would be really confusing to try to just start teaching. And this is the same way with a challenge group and with inviting people and with making money in this business. You have to know what you're doing. So my biggest tip for you is to pull out your calendar of whatever month it is. It's December. So you pull it out and you are looking for the second Monday of the month, or third. Actually, third is what I usually do. So look for the third Monday of the month. The reason I say the third Monday and put my challenge group starts on that Monday, that way you give yourself 2 full weeks to talk about the challenge group that you're about to start. You also have to have a plan for that challenge group, and don't overcomplicate it. It can be as simple as, what program are you about to start? My biggest tip is to do a shorter program at the beginning of your coaching journey. That way you have a quick win. So pick a 3-week program, pick a week-long program and do it a couple times. Pick a 4-week program, but please don't start your coaching journey with something like 645 that's 13 weeks long and 45 minutes a day, because I think it's going to be really hard for you to get your business up and moving. I have seen most success whenever I start people on short programs. You're in and you're out. You get great results, and then you can move on. Okay. I also want to mention, don't wait to start your first program or start working out until that challenge group. Start that immediately. Let people watch you work out and let them know that you'll be starting in a couple weeks. People need time to watch you. Okay. So you need to ask yourself, what program am I going to do? And then you're going to start talking about that on your social media. And I say to put it on that third Monday because you really need 2 full weeks to talk about what you're doing to get people involved in doing the program with you. I'll give you a quick example. Yesterday, I was watching stories. It's a girl I follow. It's a girl I actually interact with a lot on social media, but I don't know her in real life. And all of a sudden I was watching her stories and she turned to the side and she had a baby bump. I was like, what? Like, how have I missed that she has a baby bump? Like, that means that she's at least like decently far along if she has a baby bump. So I went to her profile and I started scrolling, and sure enough, I missed her baby announcement. I had no idea she's pregnant with twins. And it was a reminder to me that people who are following you don't see every single thing you post. So although you feel like you're being repetitive in those 2 weeks of talking about, my group starts on the 15th, my group starts on the 15th, or this month it's the 13th, I'm doing 21-day fix on the 13th, I'm doing a 3-week program on the 13th, you will feel like a broken record. And if you don't, you're not talking about it enough. The people watching you are not watching you every single day. They're not watching every single story you post. And even if they do, they're probably not paying full attention. Like, they probably have kids hanging off of them. They probably have kids hanging off of them sometimes, or they're like half listening as they cook dinner, or they're driving and they're just letting it play. You have to talk about your group for 2 weeks solid every single day, so everybody hears about it. Okay? So it really is as simple as that. Whenever you're planning your month, is picking your program, getting it on the calendar. That way you have a date. That way, when you're talking to people about your program, you can say, hey, I'm starting a 3-week program on the 13th. Do you want to do it with me? Like, that's as simple as your invites can be, and having a plan is where you have to start. So I'm going to pass it to Hannah to share all of her goodness.
All right. I'm a little nervous. I'm not a very shy person, but I don't normally talk in front of this many people. But my name's Hannah, and I have been doing Beachbody for like a year and a half now. And I watched Paige for like the last year because my coach was under her. And I watched her pay off her student debt, and I was very intrigued. I am a missionary in Mexico with a private university debt. And so, actually, same university that she went to. And so I was very intrigued. But I also know what it's like to have a life that's just super crazy and never have the same schedule. And so it intimidated me adding something else on my plate. But after a few calls with Paige or Marco Polos, I decided I would give it a try. I talked to my fiance about it and I was like, I'm also planning a wedding. And I was like, 6 months, Hannah, like 6 months, like go all in. And if you like it and you're benefiting from it, then we'll like continue from there. And if not, then like, what did I have to lose? Um, so something that I did that I think has helped me is I made my first day on the job. I didn't wait like a month to be intimidated and then never do it because I would have backed out. Or I didn't wait until I started my first program with a group because I probably wouldn't have done it. I would have had to have Paige call me 6 more times and then be like, oh yeah, I can do this. And then I would have started. And so it kind of saved me that since I was only giving myself 6 months. And literally the day that I signed up, I started posting, which was super out of my comfort zone. I have a dog who's going to wrestle me because I'm giving other people attention. Um, but I signed up the end of September and I was like, what could I really do in like 2 weeks? But I decided I was going to post the heck out of Muscle Burns Fat because I love it. And I talked about what it was, why I liked it, why it was different from other workouts I had done. And then I just started reaching out to people that I really thought would benefit from it. So anyone from like high school friends or people in college that I did intramural sports with, or anyone who I genuinely thought they would love this. And I started reaching out to them and just saying, hey, I have this group going on this day. Would you like to join me? It was super simple. And somehow I ended up signing up 5 people in like 2 weeks. And I didn't know what that meant really, but I was like, Paige kept saying, no, this is awesome. And I'm like, cool. I don't know what this means. And then I got like, she was fine. She explained what it meant. And I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. I got 5 people to sign up with me. So then hang on, I have like notes. So then eventually you're gonna run out of people that you know, or like you feel like you bothered everyone, or you're gonna have to start reconnecting with people that you haven't talked to, and you're like, that's weird. I want to be genuine. So then I kind of moved from that to reaching out to people who I still thought would benefit, but that I hadn't talked to in a long time. And I would say, hey, I have a question. Do you have something right now that you currently love doing and helps take care of yourself? And you're going to get ignored, which is probably the hardest part of this job. But there was awesome conversations that started through that because either they have something they love and you're going to hype them up because don't we all want to have something that we love and we benefit from? And like two, you're going to get someone that's like, no, I don't. And I'm looking, or no, I don't. And then you have a conversation with them. Don't do what I did my first month, that wasn't that long ago. So I'm not super awesome yet, but I would just like word vomit about, all right, you don't have one. I got you. Let me send you the share cart. You don't know what that means, but you're going to love it. And which products do you like? And yeah, you're going to love it as much as I do. And then they would be like, I'm out. And so, I've got to redeem a few of those people, but I still have time. But something that Paige had taught me through, I'd watched some of her videos from the past, was have a conversation with them, like talk to them, treat them like a human. And so if they say no, ask them what they've done in the past, or ask what they enjoy doing or what hasn't worked for them. And like treat them like a human, like talk to them for days. Don't treat them like they're going to be the reason you get your next paycheck. Because I just signed up someone November like 29th or 28th, and I started the conversation October 28th. Like it took a whole month for us to have this one conversation. And now she's she's just jumped into this as one of my favorite challengers now. So I think it took her taking time and like knowing what was going on. Hang on, what else? Oh, and then you're really gonna run out of people. And I'm only on my like 4th month of inviting. And I was like, man, I thought I knew a lot of people. And I still do, but I need to start like broadening it, which has been the scariest process of it all. And so I started doing the daily tracker. which at first I didn't think I needed because I was like, yeah, I memorized it. It's easy. You just have to share and then you have to invite and then boom, you're done. But when you run out of people, you're gonna want your daily tracker to keep you accountable. So I don't know if you guys know if everyone on here knows what it is. So I'm going to attempt to share my screen. I think that's it. Actually, I don't know if this is gonna allow me to do it.
I think I have to give you access. 1 second.
Okay.
I think if I make host, then I think you can do it.
Oh, okay. Share screen. I should have practiced this honestly before I did this.
You're fine, seriously.
I don't know if it's gonna let me because it says I need to grant access. Anyways, well, sorry I botched that, especially because we're recording.
Would it help if I shared it? If I went and I
Sure, yeah, sure.
Okay, give me a sec.
I even had it pulled up, guys. I woke up at 6:30 for this. Stop. But anyways, I started working on the daily tracker like 2 weeks ago. So, and I've done it every day that I'm like working because I need accountability. And now that like I'm a new coach, but I don't have the excuse anymore because I do know ish like what I need to be doing. I use that as kind of like my boss. Like, what do I need to be doing? I can like, I'm all about productivity. So I'm like, sit down, Hannah. You have 2 hours or an hour and a half, like do as much as you can in this, like by using the daily tracker. So I think that has like super benefited me.
Yeah. I have
Uh-huh.
bad news. It says it's down for maintenance issues. So if you could just like tell them a few of the things on it and where to access it.
Yeah. So basically, if you're just on your coach dashboard, it's like right in the top right corner. It says daily tracker. And basically you have like 4 different areas of it. You have like basically, are you working out? Are you taking care of yourself? And are you trying the products? Because you can't suggest products people if you have no idea what they are. And then you have the second area, which is like inviting, making connections, following up with people you've talked to, sharing on social media like your life, not just your Beachbody life, but your life, that you're human. um and something that I also learned from Paige is that invitations and connections are not the same thing. I like to pretend that they're the same because then I feel like I'm more efficient. But once again, you're going to run out of people and you don't want your very first time you're talking to someone to be an invitation because that's intimidating and seems sketchy. And so now I'm like making connections, which is like either watching other people's stories, finding people I think I would be similar, like have similar interests with, either commenting on them or like supporting them and stuff like that. And then eventually, if I feel like it's good timing, I would talk to them about like if they have a routine that they love. And then the second or the third part of it is more of your challenge group. Like, are you investing in your people that you already have? I think that if you are not investing in, even if you have 2 challengers, like those could be part of your like downline one day. And if you're not investing in the people that you already have, I think it's going to be hard. You're going to be like a hamster spinning on a wheel because you're constantly going to be looking for new people instead of investing in who God has like already given you. And so that's like whether you're encouraging people or you're posting that you're working out and you're right there with them, whatever that looks like. And then the hardest part I feel like is personal development. It's easy to be like, yeah, I like had a good conversation with a friend. That's personal development. Like I'm a better person because I like took 10 minutes for myself today. But I think like really sitting down and thinking like, what does God have you in like this season, and like how can you be growing, because when you're growing you're also able to help other people grow, and so taking that part seriously. So that's the daily tracker. That's something that I've now just started really doing. And so I have 2 more things. The one thing that the advice I would have to give you guys is don't compare yourselves. It's super easy to see these coaches who have been doing it for a really long time and be like, They're doing really awesome, and I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, or man, especially I'm in a group because I've hit Success Club with other women who have hit Success Club, and I'm like, wow, when they're like, yeah, I'm on like Success Club 20 and it's like day 10, which is not really, but like it feels like that. I'm like, oh, I suck. Like I feel like I'm failing, and that's not true. That's just like what the enemy wants us to like see other people's success and think that we're failing. But instead, like rejoice that like our team is doing great, and then also get to that place as well, whatever it takes. And then the other thing would be just like remember that God already knows who he has in your path. Like he already knows who's going to be joining your groups. He already knows who's going to be a part of your team. He already knows who's going to be investing in you and who you're going to be investing in. And so like you can take off the pressure of, wow, I have to recruit 10,000 people. Like he had 12 disciples. So if you have 5 solid people versus 200 flaky people, like that's beautiful. And I think that there's times where I'm like, oh my gosh, God's not going to show up this month. Like last month, my goal is 10. Like I don't want to make it optional for myself because I want to pay off my debt. I want to be investing in people. So like my only goal I have is like Success Club 10. I don't want to make it super complicated yet. But like last month, I was like, God, I feel like I was being consistent. I felt like I was being faithful. Like I'm not going to hit it, but like, I know you're still good. And then like the last day of November, I hit it. And so like God knows. So if this is something that like he has us doing and we're being consistent and faithful in it, like he's in it, and we can just trust and take off the pressure of ourselves and actually enjoy what we're doing, which is really cool. It's investing in other women, maybe men, but not a lot. But basically encouraging other women to love the person that God's created and helping them be like the best version of themselves so that they can help their family or their spouse or the community that they're serving in. So yeah, that's a lot of word vomit, but that's kind of all I got, guys.